Patriots, something massive is happening behind the scenes, and it's not just the weather that's being manipulated. On the surface, it looked like a tragic natural disaster in Texas. But when you peel back the curtain, you start seeing military-grade tech, wiped satellite data, and children vanishing under cover of darkness. This wasn't a flood, it was a strike, a weather weapon strike. And the targets? The children of patriots. Weather warfare exposed. On Independence Day, as Americans celebrated freedom, a biblical flood swept through central Texas, killing at least 27 people, including 9 children, and leaving over 20 young girls missing from a summer camp called Camp Mystic, the epicenter of the storm. But this wasn't just any camp. Camp Mystic is known as a haven for children of military families, whistleblowers, and Christian conservative leaders. And that made it a target. According to white hat military sources, the flood wasn't natural. It was geoengineered, a weaponized storm activated with precision. Satellite radar picked up microwave pulse anomalies 48 hours prior. Spiral-shaped cloud formations, unnatural and artificial, appeared overhead. Then, just before impact, the NOAA servers mysteriously lost satellite records from the area. This wasn't an act of God, it was a deep state operation, masked as climate chaos. The missing girls and GPS convoys, the most disturbing intel, 20 girls vanished and 7 GPS anomalies were tracked leaving the flood zone during the 90-minute blackout. These convoys were escorted by unmarked, non-governmental black ops vehicles. White hat operatives suspect these were imposters posing as federal agents, taking advantage of the chaos to abduct children under the radar. At least 4 of the missing girls have direct family ties to ongoing investigations into elite trafficking and bioweapon profiteering. This was not random. This was targeted. Trump's response, military rescue instead of FEMA. Within hours, President Trump, not FEMA, activated Emergency Executive Order 2771, authorizing a special military rescue operation. The mission was led by White Hat Special Command units, bypassing the deep state-controlled federal infrastructure. Result? Over 850 survivors rescued, including multiple girls believed to be lost. More than 240 water rescues were executed by the 101st Airborne Division, which had been stationed in Texas since January under Trump's directive. These soldiers didn't just find people. They found evidence, unmarked electronics, radiation anomalies, and military-grade tech debris. All signs point to an engineered environmental strike. Geoengineering networks exposed patriots. Who funds these weather weapons? Start with the usual suspects. Bill Gates has invested billions in climate manipulation tech, including cloud seeding balloons and artificial atmospheric injections. George Soros bankrolls UN-backed resilient zoning programs in Texas, preparing for land seizures after man-made disasters. And behind them all, the globalist financial puppeteers, BlackRock and Vanguard, both with ownership stakes in geoengineering contractors linked to military operations. The World Economic Forum, their leaked internal docs labeled Texas as a sovereignty threat zone. Why? Because Texas still believes in faith, freedom, and firearms. Land grab under cover of chaos. The deep state has a long history of using weather to erase communities. They burned down Paradise, California. They torched Lahaina, Maui, and now they're targeting Kerrville, Texas. After every natural disaster, they invoke Agenda 2030 protocols to seize land from displaced victims. They call it sustainable development. We call it what it is, strategic takeover. Even in Los Angeles, landowners like Grant Cardone are pushing back, suing local governments for what he calls the biggest land grab in U.S. history. The playbook is clear. Destroy, declare, confiscate. But this time, it's different. Trump's team is blocking all disaster-linked land seizures. Every fake claim tied to Agenda 2030 is being invalidated. Cleaning House, NOAA, FEMA, DHS under investigation. As of this update, over 110 federal employees from NOAA, FEMA, and DHS have had their clearances revoked, pending investigation for data tampering, obstruction, and unauthorized weather operations. The swamp is being drained from the inside out. EBS warning and final message. Sources confirm emergency broadcast system protocols are being prepared. Expect alerts and encrypted messages over the next 7 days. This is not a drill, and to the deep state there will be no hiding. Not in Geneva, not in Brussels, not even in your dumbs beneath Denver. The light is coming. The battle is no longer for control. The battle is for our children, for our future, and for the soul of this nation.